Hello, and thanks for joining me for part 3 of our novelty records. This one right here is The Birth of the Chipmunks. It's Witch Doctor by David Seville. And if you don't remember it by the title, this might help. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Ring any bells? Yeah, his name was Ross Bagdasheran. You pronounce it, that's my best guess. And he went by David Seville. That's kind of an odd name as well, but that's the name he chose to go under. This was his very first attempt, his very first record. He did another record after this one, and then the first official Chipmunks. But the B-side of this one is Don't Whistle at Me, Baby. And yeah, I just read up a bunch about David Seville and the birth of the Chipmunks and how he did it. It was all the Chipmunks were his voice at a half speed, recorded at half speed, and then played back at normal speed. So he didn't call them the Chipmunks. That album has been re-released, and I'm pretty darn sure I do have a copy of the re-release version where it was called the Chipmunks and marketed as by the Chipmunks. But originally it was just him doing a novelty record on his new tape recorder that he had bought. And that's a cool old classic RCA sleeve, but we've got a Jubilee 45 in it. And this is Jim Backus and Friend, Apple Knocker and his group, Delicious. And if you don't remember who Jim Backus is, he was the millionaire on Gilligan's Island. He was Mr. Magoo on the Mr. Magoo cartoons. He did a lot of voice work and stuff because he had a very unique voice. And the B side of that one is I Need a Vacation. So very cool to have a 45 by Mr. Jim Backus. Glad. This one has a different group though, Mort Garrison and his group backing him up, whereas on the other side you saw that it was Apple Knocker. So interesting. You gotta wonder if it was really different people or got a name written across the top of that. No need to show that. It's got nothing to do with the 45. And the other side was really wrinkled up. All right. Chuck Berry doing My Ding-a-Ling. Now, this was a song I always was shocked that they managed to market and get played on the air. Because, you know, we always thought it was a dirty song talking about your thingy, you know. And it might not even go over well today. It's marked 1972, but I'm not sure that's the actual original release date. This is definitely a Chess Records reissue because the B-side of this, or the A-side, probably was the A-side, is Johnny Be Good. And I do have an original Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, and it has a different label from this. I believe it's black. On white print on black label, original Chess Records, but this is definitely a reissued version of it. And Johnny Be Good, gotta be Chuck Berry's biggest song ever. He had a lot of great songs. He did a lot of really great contributions to early rock and roll, and Johnny Be Good is definitely one of my early favorites of his. And this is an interesting sleeve. I do believe I have shown this before in a previous video, but just to cover it here and now, in case somebody sees all that writing on the background and wants to see what I'm passing up. Again, it's not matching because this is the Chess Records, another Chuck Berry. This is the original Chess Records label with the blue, silver on blue, and a song called Broken Arrow, which I'm not familiar with that one from Chuck, but sounds like it could possibly be a bit comical. And the B-side being Childhood Sweetheart, which is not a song that old Mr. Chuck wrote, but he definitely recorded it here. E. Anderson wrote both of those songs apparently. Alright, moving on. This one's probably not actually politically correct these days, but I'm going to show it anyways because I've discussed my feelings about Bill Cosby. I still, appreciate the work for what the work was. This one's actually a little more creepy now because Little Old Man, Uptight, Everything Alright, from the album Silver Throat. Okay, we could read a whole lot into that knowing his recent history, if you wanted to. And Hush Hush being on the B-side is even going to make you laugh a little bit more if you know what's going on. But yeah, hey, I remember listening to Bill Cosby records in church, well, Sunday school. He was Noah. Remember Noah? His take on Noah? Yes, God. So he had a lot of great work. I mean, I loved I Spy. I thought I Spy was a great TV show. And here we've got another Bill Cosby 45. Ben is not himself these days. Rat on, rat on, rat on. I don't remember that album. And I don't remember the song Ben. And I had a lot of Bill Cosby albums, at least 5 or 6 of them. And he had quite a successful string of comedy albums. And the B-side on this one could make you shake your head a bit too. Yes, 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 by Bill Cosby. How about No, No, No? Shame on you, Bill. It is really a shame when controversy destroys a person's career, especially when they've got a lot of prolific work, that's well loved by a lot of people. But hey, it is what it is. Moving on. Ray Stevens, Would Jesus Wear a Rolex? My first experience with Ray Stevens, of course, was The Streak, as probably was a lot of people's. But Ray Stevens had a number of great songs over the years. And I recently watched a concert video of his from the late 80s down in Branson, Missouri. It was great. He was a great performer, a great artist. And while I don't specifically remember that song, I'm sure it's going to have at least a smile or two in there. And the B-side being Cool Down Willard, which is kind of funny, following that we just had Ben from Bill Cosby. And, Ben was a movie about a rat that Michael Jackson actually even sang the theme song for. And I'm assuming that Bill Cosby Ben record here that we just looked at a minute ago was probably along that same theme. And then Willard was a takeoff of another rat movie. And so it's kind of funny to have those two. I did not put them that way. I found them that way in a box back to back. So that's also kind of a little bit funny. And then here, I didn't put this on, but I seem to remember from back in the day, Maynard Ferguson's version of the main title from Star Wars was Discoed Up, 1977. So that's the same year that Star Wars came out. So he was jumping right there on the popularity of the movie and doing his thing. But I think that's a disco version of the Star Wars theme song. And the B-side of that being a song called Oasis. And it's interesting because the very next one up, you might even know what it is if you're familiar with the Millennium record label and some of the releases that came out. Star Wars theme Cantina Band by Mecco. So this isn't the song from the actual film, but it's a re-inversion, discoized take on dun 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 dun, and the B-side of that being a little more straight up funk from Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk album. Yeah, I'd like to have that whole album, tell you the truth. That'd be really interesting to hear the whole album. All right, now these were Novelty records, and I got into a little bit of weird stuff here, to wrap it up with. This one being a very interesting one. The Declaration of Independence as read by President John F. Kennedy. It's a 33 1/3, but it is a 7-inch, so, it's got the non-removable insert there. And the B-side of that is, part 2 of him reading it. I'm not sure just how long it takes to listen to the whole thing, but not something I would tend to listen to anyways. But it's kind of a cool historical record to have. This one I've shown previously, but I just love this label. I just love this record. The introduction to the manned Mercury spaceflight, side 1. And then the B-side of it or side 2, is the actual Mercury spaceflight communications. So it's just a really cool label, really cool, something to see. And since I have this Man on the Moon, 45 being the next one up in the stack, I figured it was fair enough just to go ahead and show that one again quickly. But this is Walter Cronkite narrating. And there's a quote from John F. Kennedy there about, why they're going to go into space and everything. And you'll see this is also, it's cool the way they used the moon as the label. I thought that was really nifty. CBS Enterprises, Man on the Moon by Walter Cronkite, side 1 and side 2. Would have been interesting if we had a picture of the dark side of the moon on side 2, but it's the exact same photo of the moon on both sides. And simply just because we have a little bit of time left, do they know it's Christmas? No, this isn't really Novelty. This is another one of those super group charity things where we all get together and sing, We Are the World, We Are the People, all that. And this one was, they called it Band-Aid. And Do They Know It's Christmas? This was for, charitable contributions, feeding Africa or whatever. And the B-side is a song called Feed the World. And I want to make sure I don't forget to show the back of this, because it shows you all the artists that were involved with this recording. And you can see they're mostly the poppy artists from the 80s, mid-80s. And then just quickly here, I want to show 2 promos. Hopefully I can squeeze them in. I got Heavy D and the Boys doing Somebody for Me. And we've got a band called New Sounds doing Body Slam. And both of those have the exact same A and B sides. They're promotional copies. There's no difference between the 2 sides. So hope you enjoyed that run of Novelty Records, and we'll see you again another day.